From a small object to a massive mystery, we now turn to the tale of a ghost army, the lost legions of Crassus. Step into the grandeur of Rome, a city where every cobblestone and column tells a story. We marvel at the Colosseum, walk the paths of the Forum, and gaze up at the Pantheon's dome. But beyond the well-trodden tourist trails and the history we think we know, the Roman Empire holds secrets that have baffled historians and archaeologists for centuries. These are not just tales of emperors and conquests. They are enigmas, lost technologies, and ghost stories whispered through time. What if I told you that beneath the surface of this mighty empire lie puzzles so profound they challenge our entire understanding of the ancient world? Today, we're not just sightseeing. We're on a quest to uncover three of the greatest unsolved mysteries of the Roman Empire. Join me as we journey back in time to explore strange artifacts, vanished armies, and a machine so advanced it seems to come from the future. The secrets of Rome are waiting. Our first mystery begins not with a grand monument, but with a small, perplexing object. The Roman dodecahedron. Imagine holding a bronze or stone object about the size of your fist. It has 12 flat pentagonal faces, and each face has a circular hole in the middle, often of varying sizes. On each corner, there's a small knob. Over 100 of these have been discovered, scattered across what was once the Roman Empire, from Wales to Hungary, primarily in the northern provinces. And here's the kicker. Despite finding so many, we have absolutely no idea what they were for. There are no mentions of them in any surviving Roman texts or images. It's as if they were a common, everyday item that was so obvious to the Romans. No one ever bothered to write it down. This complete lack of documentation has turned the dodecahedron into a historical blank slate, and theories have run wild. Could they be some sort of measuring device? Some suggest they were used for calibrating pipes or surveying land. The different sized holes might have corresponded to standard measurements. But this doesn't explain the knobs, nor why the hole sizes aren't consistent across different dodecahedrons. Another popular idea is that they were a kind of toy or game piece. Perhaps you rolled them like dice, but their uneven weight and the knobs on the corners would make for a pretty terrible, wobbly roll. What about a weapon? Some have proposed they were the head of a mace, but they're generally too small and light to be effective. Plus, many are hollow and fragile. One of the more creative theories is that they were knitting tools for making gloves, with the knobs used to hold the yarn and the holes to guide the fingers. While ingenious, there's no evidence to support it. Then there's the mystical explanation. Could they have been religious artifacts used in the rituals of a forgotten cult? Perhaps they were candle holders, with the holes creating a unique pattern of light. Or maybe they were astronomical instruments used to determine the optimal sowing date for winter grain, by observing the angle of sunlight through the holes. This theory is compelling, but it requires specific latitudes and dates, which doesn't explain their widespread distribution. The Roman dodecahedron remains a perfect puzzle. It's a tangible piece of the past that we can hold, yet its purpose is completely lost to time. A silent testament to the daily lives of Romans we may never fully understand. From a small object to a massive mystery, we now turn to the tale of a ghost army, the lost legions of Crassus. In 53 BC, one of the wealthiest men in Rome, Marcus Licinius Crassus, led 7 legions, about 40,000 soldiers, on an ill-fated campaign into Parthia, modern-day Iran. At the Battle of Carrhae, the Roman forces were utterly decimated by the Parthian cavalry. It was one of Rome's most humiliating defeats. Crassus himself was captured and executed in a gruesome fashion. Legend says the Parthians poured molten gold down his throat as a symbol of his insatiable greed. History records the death and capture of thousands of Roman soldiers. But what happened to the survivors? Ancient sources, like the historian Pliny the Elder, mention that thousands of Roman prisoners of war were marched to the eastern edge of the Parthian Empire to a place called Margiana, near modern-day Afghanistan. And then they vanish from Roman records. They were given up for dead, lost forever in the vastness of Asia. Or were they? This is where the story takes an extraordinary turn. Fast forward to the 1950s, a British historian named Homer Dubbs was studying ancient Chinese records. He stumbled upon an account of a battle in 36 BC between the Han dynasty and a confederation of Xiongnu tribes in modern-day Uzbekistan. The Chinese chronicles describe a strange group of mercenaries fighting for the Xiongnu. They used a fish-scale formation, a tactical arrangement of overlapping shields. That sounds remarkably like the famous Roman testudo or tortoise formation. They also fought with a discipline and in a manner unfamiliar to the Han Chinese. After the battle, the Chinese captured over 100 of these foreign soldiers and, impressed by their military prowess, settled them in a newly established frontier town. The name of this town, Liqian, just so happens to be the ancient Chinese word for Rome. Could these mysterious soldiers have been the remnants of Crassus's lost legions? The timeline fits. After nearly 2 decades, as Parthian prisoners or mercenaries, they could have migrated further east. Sits right along the old Silk Road. For years, this theory captivated the world. Some residents of Jelisai have features like green eyes, lighter hair, and taller noses, which some have claimed as evidence of European ancestry. DNA tests have been conducted, but the results have been inconclusive, showing a mixed heritage common to Silk Road populations, but no definitive link to Roman origins. Most historians today are skeptical. The fish-scale formation could be a coincidence, and the evidence is largely circumstantial. Yet, the possibility is tantalizing. The image of a lost Roman legion, defeated and abandoned, trekking across a continent to build a new life and fight one last battle in a strange land, is a powerful one. It's a story of survival against all odds. A ghost legion haunting the crossroads of history, its final fate forever debated. Our final mystery takes us from land to sea, and to an object so sophisticated it's been called an ancient computer. In the year 1900, sponge divers exploring a Roman-era shipwreck off the coast of the Greek island of Antikythera made a stunning discovery. Amongst the statues and pottery, they found a lump of corroded bronze. It was initially overlooked, thought to be just a piece of rock or a broken statue. But months later, as it dried out in a museum, it cracked open, revealing a breathtaking sight. A complex system of interlocking gears and dials inscribed with tiny Greek characters. This was the Antikythera mechanism. For decades, scientists were baffled. What was this intricate device? It wasn't until the advent of X-ray and CT scanning technology in the 21st century that its true purpose was revealed. By turning a handle, its 30-plus gears would move a series of dials on the front and back, accurately predicting the positions of the Sun, the Moon, and the 5 planets known to the ancients: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. It could track the phases of the Moon, predict solar and lunar eclipses, and even model the irregular orbit of the Moon using a clever pin-and-slot system that mimicked the theories of the astronomer. It even had a dial that showed the timing of the ancient Olympic Games and other Pan-Hellenic festivals.